Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning and we are super excited to be here with you today. We've got a really good one for you guys today. It's okay to say no. Did you know that? It's okay to say no. Now, all my salesmen out there that listen to this, they just went, oh, no is like the worst thing ever. And this is not the same as the podcast that we did earlier where every no is one step closer to a yes. This is totally different, okay? So stick with us here. This is called be true to you. Be true to you and be true to your business. It's okay to say no. As business owners, we don't want to say no. We just want to say yes all the time. And we've talked about saying yes in your business and how you can be creative and think of ways to say yes. Because of course, people are searching for a service and you want to be that service that they purchase. You want to be that product that they purchase. And so we get into this, vortex, this cyclone of yes. And unfortunately, sometimes and often it turns out to be not a good thing. Yeah. It's not a good deal. It's not always worth saying yes, right? Not every deal is worth saying yes to. So, Troy, let's jump into saying no.
All right. Yeah. So we thought we'd just give you a couple of examples today of people that we've talked to, our experience with our business where people have come to us and brought a deal or wanted something from us and we had to say no.
Yep.
And why we said no. So I'll give you a perfect example. We had someone just recently come to us and they said, oh man, I love the SoTellUs system, but I need custom reports built and I needed to do this, and this. And they wanted all of this work done and, based or to be built around their business and their business needs.
Their specific needs.
Yeah, exactly. And, we told them, and now again, we've talked about it in the past. Let me just clarify this in the beginning. We love our customers giving us suggestions and ideas on how we can improve our system. And a lot of times we've talked about it in the past, where a client has given us an idea. It's something that we could do with, in an hour. And we've literally rolled out a new feature or service in an hour for a customer.
Yeah, a customer gives us an idea and we're like, that's a great idea.
Yeah. And it will benefit all of our customers, right?
Yep.
Not something custom, but something that would benefit everybody.
Yes.
So we do it. So I just want to preface that because in this situation, we're not talking about something that benefits everybody. This was something specific for one customer that they wanted done. And we told them like, hey, look, we can absolutely do that. We can customize the system for you, but you're going to need to pay for those development hours.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And they basically said, oh, no way, we're not going to pay. You guys should cover the cost because it's your system.
Well, and it's so funny. It's like they bought our system knowing it didn't do that.
Right.
We never said that it did this custom reporting that they needed specifically for themselves. But yet when they decided this is what they needed, they also decided we should provide that for them at no extra charge.
Yeah, that we should pay for that development, right? And it's like, again, you might, as a business owner, you go, oh, well, I want to keep the customer, right? I want to make sure they're happy and all this stuff. And so I'm going to do this. But when you actually sat down and looked at it, it's like, well, let's see, in order to do that work, we would have to keep this customer for, I don't know, like a decade at least to recover the money to develop what they wanted. So are we going to say yes to that deal? No, we're
people
not
don't realize
yes.
developers are paid at like $120 an hour, people.
Yeah, exactly. If not more.
Yeah.
And so, it was a deal that we just had to say, no, this isn't work. This will not work for us.
And let me give you an example of that. So for all of our carpet cleaners out there, that's like somebody hiring you to clean their carpets and they pick a package and they agree to the package. They know exactly what's in that package. Maybe you're going to even take care of their tile grout for them and you're going to take care of their carpets and you're going to do their stairs and it's going to be 3 rooms of cleaning. And then at the end, they say, well, wait a minute, you didn't clean my ducts. Well, yeah, that wasn't in the package you purchased. That is X amount of dollars more or the next package up. No, that's ridiculous. You should have cleaned my ducts in that package.
Right, exactly.
That's kind of what this is like.
Yeah, totally. So another example of that is we got a call from another customer and with SoTellUs, and they wanted to get video testimonials and not video reviews.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want reviews, we want testimonials.
Yeah.
Which at first, like their success coach was like, wait a minute, like why would you want a video testimonial
Yeah.
versus a video review, which is way more powerful, it's more trust.
Gets ranking in the search engines, everything.
Right. None of it made sense, right? But the person's like, I want video testimonials.
They basically just wanted it to be called a video testimonial anywhere that it showed up.
Yeah, well, that originally, and then they actually wanted. They said, okay, now what I want is I want this multi-step process that they go through where it asks them a different question and records the videos and puts it all together. And we're like, whoa, wait a minute,
Yeah.
like you.
My success coach was just sat there for a second, like, really.
Yeah, it's
Really?
like he literally, the success coach came and says he basically wants us to completely rebuild our company and our system to do something totally different than what it does. And again, it goes back to like what Trevor said, like, okay, this is what you purchased,
Yeah.
right? But now you want something totally different than
And
that.
let me point out there, again, just like the first example, again, the answer was yes. We can do that for you. Here's how much it's going to cost. And when people realize, people come to us all the time and they're like, hey, can you build this? And you guys got developers and everything. And they're like, and we're like, yeah, okay, that's going to be $60,000. They're like, oh man, I was thinking, like, oh, I don't know. I mean, a couple $100, maybe a couple thousand. And it's just, people don't realize how much development costs.
Yeah.
Remember, SoTellUs as built, as is, has cost us millions of dollars now and years to build, which we thought originally, with our original idea was going to be something like $60,000 and like 4 months to build.
Yep, exactly.
But that's not how it goes.
Yeah, so again, here was somebody coming with something totally different, totally outside of what our product did, and they're like, "Can you do this?" Right? And yes, we can, but at a cost.
Yep.
So the other cost that we're not even talking about is to take the development team off of what they're currently working on to then work on that project. There's a cost with that because that means we're not moving forward on all of our development that we already have planned for our existing customer base. So it becomes very costly when you think about that because you're focusing on the needs of one customer versus the needs of 4,000 or 5,000 customers.
Yeah, and again, so we're saying it's okay to say no, and you might be going, Trevor, but I might lose my customer if I'd say no. I don't want to lose customers. That's the salespeople inside of us, right? Guess what? If it's going to cost you more to keep that customer than that customer is worth, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Move on, because there's a lot of customers out there that are searching for your products, your services, right? As is. So maybe this person isn't perfect. You're not going to be perfect for every person, and it's okay. You need to get that feeling inside that it's okay to just say no and move on.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, too, that you got to think about, that's a great point you brought up, is the amount of time that you're going to spend, changing things for this customer. How many new customers could you get in that time, that just love your service for what it is and are happy to pay for exactly what you do?
That's exactly right.
That's what you need to think about. And I'll tell you, in our business over the last 20 years, very seldom have we found that spending that extra time and effort and energy on the one customer would be worth more than just keep doing what we're doing and adding tons of customers that want the system exactly the way it is.
Yeah, let me put it this way. Difficult people are difficult people.
Yes.
And that is what I have found to be true over and over and over again. Difficult people are just difficult people. So even when we did go above and beyond, even when we did do what they wanted, they were still difficult.
Yeah.
And a lot of times didn't even stick around long enough for it to have been worth the money that we spent.
Yes.
Because they're difficult people.
Exactly. So now we're talking about services right now, right?
Yeah.
So again, our service is more technological.
Yep.
But again, your business might be carpet cleaning, it might be real estate, it might
Home
be
inspection.
home inspection, childcare, whatever it is, right? You still have the same issues, just in a different way.
Right.
When it comes to parents that want you to adjust the entire, meals for their student, or the entire, lessons for their student, right? We all face it, just in different ways.
No, I was just talking to a client of ours that was a roofer the other day, and he went out, gave a bid. It was going to be this roof, this type, this thing. And the person said yes, and they went to move forward on it. Well, then the person decided that they wanted to do something which I've never seen before, but it's like where you kind of like every so often you stack these tiles up. And so my roofers that are listening, they're going to understand this. You take this little area and stack these tiles up, and it makes these like little, I don't know. It gives dimension to the roof. Okay. So all it is adding extra tile, right?
Yeah.
But then you got to secure it, and it costs, you've got more in your cost and labor.
Right.
And the guy was like, well, no, I don't want to pay for that. I mean, I think you should just do that within the quote that you gave me. And the guy's like, I have more material I got to buy, and I got to pay my guys more labor because it's going to take more time. Why in the world would you think that it would cost the same amount of money?
Yeah.
And it was just this big fight over it. And it's like people's mindsets.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So think about your business, your services, and what kind of issues you've run into. Now let's talk about partnerships, because partnerships are a big part of business as well. So Trevor, why don't you talk about some of the partnership examples?
Yeah. Partnerships are interesting. They're wonderful, can be amazing, can really help your business grow, but they can also be exhausting and they can be frustrating. So we approached a guy one time that, we approached each other basically. We're introduced to each other, and he wanted to get involved more in SoTellUs, and we wanted to get connections. He had a lot of connections to some pretty big people, and we thought, hey, this will be a really good thing. So we approached him and said, hey, we would like to do X, Y, and Z with you. Well, he came back and said, well, I'd like to do A, B, and C with you. And so we started kind of like, well, maybe how do we do this? How do we work this out? How do we get it to be right? The right deal for us? Because really what we need is X, Y, and Z, but really what he wants is A, B, and C. And okay, so how do we, and we started trying to figure out how to make this guy happy, and time went on, and the conversations continued to happen, and it just ended, in the end, we went back to, no, we need X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And so we had to just kind of, at that point, take a hard stance. And unfortunately, in that situation, it kind of ruined the friendship that would have been there, and the partnership, put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And my thing is at that moment, I told Troy, and this was a few years back, I told him, I said, my New Year's resolution is I am just going to tell people what I want, and I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to try to overly accommodate people, meaning not being a jerk or anything like that, but I have what I need as well. And when I'm trying to get what I need or move forward with that, and people are throwing all these different things at me, it doesn't do anybody any good for me to try to over accommodate these people. It's better for me to just stick to my guns and move forward, because what happens in that situation is just being straightforward and brutally honest with people and direct. I have found, this was a few years ago, life has gotten so much better in business, in friendships, in marriage, with my children, with everything. Sticking to my guns and just being very clear on what it is I'm looking for, because what happens is, if that's not going to line up with them and they're not willing to give a bit, I'm willing to give a bit, right? If they're not willing to give a bit or whatever, then we both just understand this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
And we part as friends.
Exactly.
The situation and the relationship isn't strained at that point. And so that's what one of the things that I did. I mean, it was like, hey, why don't you introduce us to some of these people that you know? And he was like, hey, why don't you give me a salary? And why don't you put me on the books that I do X, Y, and Z for you guys? And that I'll travel and do this. And anyways, it was just so far from what we had started with.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for us at all. And so we had to turn it down. And it really did ruin that. But it was a good learning lesson for me that the answer just is no. That's not what I'm looking for. It's not even in a rude way. When I said I need X, Y, and Z, and he came back and said, well, I'm going to give you A, B, and C, the answer should have just simply been no. That's not going to work for me. Thank you so much for, offering that up, A, B, and C, but that's not what we're looking for. Are you able to provide X, Y, and Z? Well, no, okay, no problem. That's fine. Then that's probably not what we're looking for, and we're probably not what you're looking for. So no problem. Thank you so much for your time. And it would have just been such a better situation. Right?
Yeah, and that's we've had that happen so many times where, in our business, again, 20 years of doing this, it's always the people that come and demand the most or promise the most to us
Oh my gosh.
are usually the ones that never fulfill.
Yeah, they demand the most or promise the most, and they give the least. Honestly,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
produce the least.
And that's what we learned very quickly was, with those type of people, and here's one quick lesson that you can take away from this. With those type of people, you just very simply put it out there of, you know what? I understand this is what we currently offer, or this is what we currently do. I understand that you are, saying that you can do so much more for us and provide, whether it's referrals or whatever it might be. That sounds great. We'll start with this. And once you hit X number, then we can talk about all that additional stuff you want, because there's no reason to waste time right now focusing on that stuff until we hit this number. And what you're doing there is you're basically putting a performance,
on them.
Performance on them. And if they can't do what they say they can do, you will see them very quickly disappear.
And I'll give you the exact example that Troy and I are talking about right now. We have had over 10 people come to us, big influencers or big people, right? Come to us and say, I can bring you 100,000 customers. Okay. Remember, we're just under 5,000 right now. We're just under 5,000, and we grew that ourselves. So if any one of these people over the years would have performed, where's all those customers, right? They weren't able to do it, but they wanted so much. They wanted this and this and this and this and this. And it was like, what a waste of time. We had to learn earlier on that it's a waste of our time.
Yeah.
So what we do is exactly what Troy said. We said, nope, this is what we have in place. This is what we will do until you hit this number. Bring us 10,000 customers, and then you'll be our best friend. We'll lay palm leaves down as you walk, and we'll fan you and feed you grapes.
Yeah.
I don't even care. But none of them can even do that. None of them. Once you put the performance back on them, they're not able to do that. And so that's something to think about when you have people approach you like partners and everything like that, because we've had pretty bad horror stories from clients where they had someone come, they were supposed to partner up and they were going to bring X, Y, and Z, right? They were going to bring all this, and nothing ends up happening. And now they've got a partner because they went through and they did it the right way, right? Legally, they brought this person on 50% and blah, blah, blah. No. Next time someone approaches you, or if you're in the middle of someone approaching you, or maybe you're sitting here going, yeah, I know I screwed up. I did that deal. I did that deal. Just know these are learning. These are lessons, right? Don't do that. All right, guys. Well, we are going to get on to homework. We're going to keep it nice and short today. Let's get on to homework. Homework today is very simple. Look at your business, and are there people in your business or in your life right now that have promised these things, said that they will do X, Y, and Z, or they are demanding you do this, or this for them, clients coming on, partners coming on, whatever that is. Look at your business currently and see if that's happening. And if it is, trim the fat. Get rid of it. Knock it off. Don't let them keep sucking off of you. I call them succubuses because it's like they suck everything out of you. They suck off the energy out of you. They suck the business out of you. They're just there to, help themselves and profit. And then now listening to this conversation, eyes wide open, my friends, eyes wide open. Never again will this happen to you, or if it does come, because it will come. If you're sitting here going, man, that's never happened to me before, Trevor. I don't know. You guys work with some wonky people or something. Trust me, you will get it. So now, eyes wide open, you will see it clearly when they come approach you. If it is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Put it into a performance-based type situation, or for clients, they need to pay for it. They need to pay for it by either paying up front, or they need to sign a contract with you or something along those lines. Make sure that it's benefiting your business and not with promises. Actual, real, hard clients, money, whatever that is, but not promises. Okay? All right, guys. Well, this was a fun SoTellUs time. I feel like I got some things off my chest. I feel a little lighter. And I've shared some knowledge of, frustrating times that we have had multiple times, guys. This has happened to us multiple times until we finally figured it out and said, man, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 5 times. Okay, we're done. And so this has been a really fun one for us. I hope you guys had a great time with us. As always, like, comment, share. You guys are the best. We love spending our Tuesday mornings with you guys, and we hope you do too. And we will see you guys on the next So Tell Us Time.